Hey, I'm Dave Nielsen. Thanks for the chance to present. So I've been asked to comment on the data that was collected concerning this pilot program that asked missionaries provided missionaries with training materials when they received their mission call, and then monitored their improvement and their confidence level at the time they entered the MTC. And the goal of this pilot program is to, one, help missionaries come to the MTC having learned language and key missionary functions, and two, help missionaries come to the MTC with confidence that they can fulfill their missionary purpose in the language because they have experienced success learning the language. So we're trying to figure out if that sense, that sensation of success during those 2 or 3 months leading up to the MTC, if that catapults people on to feeling really confident. Okay, so I've made a few notes. I've emailed these notes. I hope you can just follow along with me. I focused on there were a couple different questions in the survey. I focused on the question, can you bear testimony in your mission language? How much did people improve from the time they got their mission call to the time they entered the MTC? Okay. Well, as you can see in my notes, 70% of high users reported that they had improved in their ability to bear their testimony. 25% of medium users reported improvement. Okay. 34% of low users reported improvement. 19% of people enrolled who did nothing reported improvement, and 6% of missionaries outside the pilot program reported some improvement. So what do we take from that? Well, this is what I take from it. High users of the pilot program, they reported significantly higher levels of improvement than other missionaries. That's obvious, that's clear according to the data that we have. The training, when vigorously applied, it does seem to have the potential to that people are going to learn and get better. However, medium users do not report significantly higher levels of improvement than low or zero users. Okay, so there's kind of the law of diminishing. The less people, people don't put their heart and soul into it. It drops rapidly. Okay, so significant improvement requires serious commitment. Okay, now the second goal of the pilot program, put it in question form: has the pilot training program helped missionaries come to the MTC with confidence that they can fulfill their missionary purpose in the language because they have experienced success learning the language? Well, let's look at one of the survey questions. I have had success learning my language. Okay, that question was asked to all of the participants. 100% of the high users responded that they agreed or strongly agree with that statement. 50% of the medium users agree or strongly agree. 55%, which is kind of funny, it bumps up. 55% of the low users said that they agree or strongly agree. 59%, again, bumps up even more, of the participants who did nothing agree or strongly agree with this statement. And then missionaries outside the pilot program drops all the way down. 19% of non-pilot missionaries agree or strongly agree with the statement. So what do we take from it? This is what I take from it. Being enrolled in the pre-MTC training program gives many missionaries confidence, okay, that they have come to the MTC having learned something of the language. 100% of the high users and about 50% of everybody else involved, as compared to 19% of the people not enrolled. Okay. All right. Then let's look at another question though. Compare it to one more thing. Now, there was a question: I am confident I can learn to speak my missionary language well. Well, 96% of all missionaries surveyed said that they agree or strongly agree with that statement, and even 94% of the non-pilot missionaries not even enrolled, 94% of them said that they also agree or strongly agree. So, what do we take from that? The data shows that nearly all missionaries come to the MTC confident, according to the way the question has been phrased. The vast majority of them come to the MTC saying that they're confident that they can learn the language. So confidence cannot be credited to any pre-MTC learning. Okay. Now, very quickly, here are some numbers that I think are interesting. Only 6% of the pilot participants reported as high users. So is that an issue? I mean, we've got this program, but a very small percentage of people it's offered to are engaging in it. 80% of the pilot participants were low users or did nothing. 42% of pilot participants claimed no improvement at all. Okay, so that's kind of the reverse of all these numbers. We're saying like, oh, 50% of people say that they improved. Well, 42% say they didn't improve. Is that a negative? Is that setting people? Are we giving people an experience and they feel like nothing happened? Is there potential that could be a negative? Suggestions, recommendations. Let's fine tune the program goals. If our goal is to, we can see that when people engage with the program, they do improve. And if that is our number one goal, then maybe let's talk about what can anything be done to boost the percentage of missionaries that engage in the training. And then also probably need to have a discussion how serious of an issue is low usage. Is that is it worth the resources, the time that's going into that? And if the goal is just to improve the level of confidence that people feel coming into the MTC, then maybe we need to go back and fine tune the survey questions. So that's my report on the status of the program. I think there's definitely things we could talk about, but it was interesting and I enjoyed looking at it. Thanks.